few key areas: speed, cameras, and size. The new Asus Zenfone 8 is bucking the trend. Yes to speed, but no to cameras and size. They believe that less is more. The Asus Zenfone 8 seems underwhelming when you pull it out of the box, largely because it is no shiny big toy. As a matter of fact, Asus went with a subtle design ethos. The mid-frame is made in matte aluminum, and it is nicely fused together with a curved back frosted glass cover, making it more resistant to fingerprints. It gives a soft and powdery feel, which is nice to hold, but that also makes it a little more slippery compared to the usual glass back phone. The key selling point to this phone seems to be its size, and we do agree that big phones can be cumbersome to manage, especially with just one hand. The Zenfone 8 is just slightly taller than a Google Pixel 4a, but it still manages to fit in a 5.9-inch Samsung display, which is protected by the latest Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, the same glass that you can find on premium phones like the ROG Phone 5 Ultimate and the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. It has a 2400 by 1080 Full HD Plus resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, and a pixel density of 445 ppi. Quality of the screen is just a tad lower to that of the iPhone 12 Max and Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, but it still offers very sharp and smooth images, making it enjoyable to watch videos on. Having a high-end screen is especially crucial for phones with a smaller display, as it makes tiny text a lot more readable. The phone also comes with a built-in fingerprint reader. It works well, but the reading seems a tad slower than the ones on the other phones. The Zenfone 8 is powered by the new Snapdragon 888 5G processor, the de facto chip for this year's premium phones. We did a CPU benchmark test on Geekbench, and we were very surprised that it got a very high score of 1130 for single-core and 3610 for multi-core performance. It outperforms most Android phones. This means you will be able to handle most of your multitasking needs and processor-heavy apps swimmingly. For the graphic performance, our benchmark result on 3D Mark scores a high 5778, even beating Asus's own ROG Phone 5. On the wireless front, the Zenfone 8 adopts the Bluetooth 5.2 that not only consumes less power, but also lower latency in the connection. Something that we found interesting was the use of two wireless antennas in the phone. This potentially means that the phone is capable of connecting two different Wi-Fi routers simultaneously. We did a test by saving two different Wi-Fi signals in the phone. The first is a Wi-Fi 5 hotspot from our phone, and the second one is a Wi-Fi 6 connection from my home network. When we chose the mobile hotspot as our main signal, we can see that the second Wi-Fi 6 connection is still active. We proceeded to switch off the data from our hotspot, and to our surprise, the phone is still connected to the internet while we are on our hotspot connection. This dual Wi-Fi technology was first announced in 2019 by Oppo and Vivo, but it failed to be a cornerstone in mobile Wi-Fi technology. If you've tried the ROG phones, you will know how good their speaker sounds, and in the Zenfone 8, it is using the same technology. Audio quality is bassy and clearer than most of the other phones we have tried, but again, we have to say that you shouldn't expect the quality of a portable Bluetooth speaker. The phone also comes with the rare 3.5mm earphone jack that you won't find in most flagship phones today. With the earphones plugged in, it also acts as an antenna for the built-in FM receiver. Even though there is a 3.5mm audio jack, it is still IP68 certified, meaning that it technically withstands dust, dirt, sand, and can be submerged into water up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. In the camera department, it is a little lacking in options when you compare it with other flagships that have all the bells and whistles. It comes with a 64-megapixel 26mm lens and a 12-megapixel 14mm wide lens. For videos, you can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second and go up to 8K, but only at 24 frames per second. While trying out the motion tracking function, we realize that the temperature suddenly shoots up. We are not sure if this is a firmware issue or just that the function is heavy on the processor and thus causes it to heat up. The saving grace is that the wide camera has very little distortion, and the cameras use Sony sensors, which do reproduce some very accurate colors. The Zenfone 8 comes with a 4000 mAh battery with 30-watt fast charge capability, and it doesn't support wireless charging. The Zenfone 8 will come in two colors, Obsidian Black and Horizon Silver, and will also be available in three variants, 6GB or 8GB of RAM in 128 storage and 8GB of RAM or 16GB of RAM in 256GB of storage. The recommended retail price starts from €599 and local pricing will be announced soon. So in summary, this is a small little premium beast that packs a punch in a discreet tiny package. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, do drop us a message. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You're streaming Tech360.tv.